Hello, everyone. It's Peg here. I'm just doing a quick little chat with you. Some of you probably have already had the opportunity to play with shrink plastic. And, it's one of those things that we kind of forget about in our arsenal of craftiness. But I was going through some drawers, and guess what I found? I found some shrink plastic. And the cool thing that you can do is you can print right on it from your uh, inkjet printer, which is what I've done with these particular images. I just printed these out, and you can get shrink plastic in white surface, which this is. You can get it in a clear, which is, let's see if I have some here. This is a piece of clear, and this has already been sanded. Okay, so when you're doing this, you want to have a surface that will accept the ink, so that's why we sand it. And you can also get this in black. I know I've done things in black because um, it accepts the metallic ink really well, and I like to work in metallics. So the metallic on the black is really kind of classy if you're going to make embellishments. I've made jewelry out of this stuff before. So anyway, I've cut a couple of pieces out here, and you can see this stuff just looks like paper at this point. But you can go around and cut this and be as precise as you want to be. But this piece is going to shrink down quite a bit. I'll show you. So here's an image of a bird. And you see you want the color not to be terribly bright at this point because when you print it, the colors condense when you shrink it. So here's the bird like this, and here's the bird after it's been shrunk for an embellishment. Okay? So I've got a couple pieces out here. Let's see what we can do. Now we've got, this one is on clear plastic, and the sample that I have here is on white. And I'll just show you what that looks like when it shrinks. Now, the thing is, if you want this, to be an embellishment on something, and you want to use a jump ring, or you want to create, do I want that there? Yeah. You want to create a hole now before, because otherwise you have to get a drill out and drill through that because the plastic gets thicker. So here we go. I'm going to heat this up, and I want to block what I like to do is use a wood block to flatten it out when I get done. You can see it's just curling. And when it gets close to being done, it'll flatten back out. I'm going to flip it over and hit the other side. There's a little tail out there. And one last flip. And here we go. And that's all it takes is just, you want to tap it down on the table because you want this to be flat in the end. And it's too hot to touch immediately. But you can see here's my cute, let's get something behind there. Here's my cute little whale. Isn't he darling? And then what you get, if you get images like this from Darcy's, which is a company that has these kits. You can get the stamps or you can get the digital images, but they have a lot of really cute stuff. And you can get the images that you can print out on your sheets, but they also have these cute little faces. So like for the whale, here's the little buttons that go on there. Now, he's cute. He's cute even without the button. But look at this. Look at that cute little button on there. So I can take one of these and I can just glue it right on the front of this little whale. And let's see, which way does he go? Goes like this because that's his fin. Nope, doesn't go like that. How does he go? Oh, goes the opposite direction. Okay. Anyway, you can see what happens here is this can go on top of this or not, in which case you end up with a whale like this or like this. Okay. Or an owl or something else. Okay. Or the birds. So I'm going to just try a couple more things here since I've got them out. This is always the amazing part to me, is when you're heating this and you're watching it. You think, how is that ever going to flatten out again, right? Oh, isn't that darling? Can you guys see that little hat? Little steampunk hat? Isn't that cute? It's about as big as my fingertip. And let's see. Let's do this one too, as long as we're doing them. I'm just going to quickly cut around this image. And this one's a little bit bigger than the one that I used on the card earlier. Or I guess I didn't use it on the card. I was thinking about using it on the card. So you can print them out in different sizes depending on what you want. Just remember that the shrink plastic really shrinks down a lot. Now, what I have done before is I've taken, let me show you real quickly. I have taken a piece of the plastic, just a scrap. You know, you can take a piece of this scrap. Almost cut here. Being real careful because it's going to shrink way down. Okay, so you can take a piece of this plastic and you can take a ruler and let me trim this up nicely so you guys can see. And I do this with each piece if I want something to, if I want to know specifically what this is going to do. Okay, so here's my piece of plastic. And I can take a ruler like this, and I can take a permanent marker, and I can mark this at the 1 inch, oops, at the 1 inch, at the 2 inch, at the 3, at the 4, at the 5, and at the 6. Okay, so then I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Make those come down a little bit more. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink this. Okay, so what do we have? We have a shrink plastic ruler. And what this does is it tells me that if I have 1 inch of this material, which this is about 5.5 inches, okay? So if I have 5.5 inches, it's going to shrink down to just about that size there, okay? So you can see just how much this piece of plastic is going to shrink. And I'll show you that. Okay, a little hot yet. There's our piece. And you can see that this is now that 5.5 inch piece that we said it was going to shrink down to. So you can judge just how big you need to make your piece of plastic in order to get it to the right size. You see, this is the one that I did that was smaller. And this shows that it started out as a 4-inch piece. So that's it for today, guys. See you later.